Welcome to Spellbound Studio, everybody. My name is Tracy, and this is Fan Art Friday. It is Star Wars month here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano enters Star Wars as a rule. That is easy to forget now because she's become something else entirely. But at the start, she exists to reinforce doctrine. She is assigned and she is instructed. She is placed into the Jedi system very deliberately, very young, and very publicly. She is Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, which means that she is meant to embody proof that the Order still works, and that its methods still hold, and that training in hierarchy and obedience can still produce balance in the middle of a war that is already rotting the institution from the inside. From the beginning, Ahsoka does not quite fit. Before we get started, please make sure to become a star in the Spellbound constellation by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. For further ways that you could support Spellbound Studio, please check the links in the description below. Thank you. Ahsoka is impulsive, but she's not blind. She questions orders, but not from arrogance, more from instinct. She feels when something is wrong before she can articulate why. The Jedi teach control, detachment, and patience. Ahsoka learns all of that, and she follows the forms. She listens and studies, but she also reacts, and that reaction is often framed as a flaw rather than a form of wisdom. The tension between what she knows and what she is told to know is there almost immediately, even if she chose neither the Order or she has the language for it yet. The Clone Wars as a series quietly reframes the Jedi as an institution stretched past its moral capacity. They are generals now. They are commanders and strategists. They speak about peace while directing armies of enslaved clones into endless conflict. And Ahsoka grows up inside of that contradiction. She watches it and absorbs it and internalizes it. Ahsoka is trained to believe in the Jedi ideal while living inside of a daily reality that violates it. What's important is that Ahsoka does not leave because she rejects the Force. She leaves because she can no longer reconcile the Force with the way that the Jedi claim ownership over it. The breaking point is not philosophical at first, it is personal. She is accused, framed, cast out by enemies, but even by the institution that raised her. The Jedi Council, calm, distant, and procedural, chooses expedience over trust. Even Anakin, who believes in her more than anybody else, cannot fully shield her from the machine grinding forward. When her innocence is proven, the Council calls it a test, a lesson, and a necessary trial. But this is where doctrine fails completely. Because faith that survives only by hurting the faithful is not faith, it is control. Ahsoka does not storm out in anger or denounce the Jedi with a theatrical finality. She simply refuses to return. She recognizes that something fundamental has broken, and that staying would mean accepting that break as normal. Walking away is not rebellion, it is a refusal to lie to herself. It is the first time that she chooses conscience over hierarchy, and it costs her everything. She loses her rank, certainty, and future as it was promised to her. But what she gains, slowly and painfully, is clarity. Outside of the Order, Ahsoka begins to relate to the Force without institutional meditation. There is no council to interpret it for her, no doctrine to soften the demands. There is no rule book explaining which emotions are acceptable to feel. She has to listen directly, and that listening reshapes her. By the time we meet her again in Rebels, she is no longer a student or a Jedi Knight. She is quieter and sharper. She does not recruit or preach. She helps when help is needed and vanishes when it is not. She operates under the code name Fulcrum, which is telling. She's a pivot point, not a center, a lever and not a throne. Ahsoka's encounter with Vader is the emotional thesis of her arc. This is what walking away cost her the most. Because leaving the Jedi did not mean leaving Anakin. She carries that grief and guilt and the unanswered question, if she had stayed and endured and believed harder, would this have happened anyway? The Force does not answer her with comfort, it answers her with confrontation. She does not defeat Vader or redeem him. She stands her ground, names him, and refuses to abandon him again, and survives. Survival is not triumph, it is endurance. It is the choice to keep walking after realizing that doing everything right would not have saved the people she loved. This distinction matters because Ahsoka's story is not about purity, it is about discernment. When she appears in The Mandalorian, she refuses to train Grogu. This is not hypocrisy, this is wisdom earned through loss. She recognizes attachment not as a moral failure, but as a responsibility that the Jedi were unwilling to reckon with honestly. She understands what fear of loss did to Anakin, not because the Jedi taught her, but because life did. She will not recreate the same conditions and call it balance. In the Book of Boba Fett, her conversations with Luke are gentle, but they are revealing. Luke is rebuilding doctrine, and Ahsoka is no longer interested in rebuilding anything. She does not oppose him, but she stands adjacent to him. She offers experience rather than instruction. She knows that systems repeat themselves when their founders believe intention is enough to prevent collapse. And then there is Ahsoka, the series that finally allows her to fully exist outside the shadow of the Jedi narrative frame. Here, walking away is no longer an absence, it is an identity. She is called former Jedi, but she does not correct it. Not because it's accurate, but because it no longer matters. Titles have lost their authority over her. What defines her now is choice, responsibility freely assumed, loyalty without ownership, and belief without execution. Her training of Sabine Wren is messy, imperfect, and deeply human. There is no pretense that the Force belongs to the gifted few. There is no illusion of mastery through attachment. There is only patience, failure, trust, and that long work of learning how to listen to the Force. Ahsoka Tano walks away from doctrine not once, but continuously. She walks away from certainty and from easy moral binaries, from the comfort of believing that obedience equals goodness. She does not replace a Jedi with a counterpart. She does not found a new school or write a new code. She understands that the moment belief hardens into structure, it risks forgetting why it existed in the first place. In Star Wars, power is often framed as inheritance, bloodlines and prophecies and destinies to be fulfilled or broken. Ahsoka rejects inheritance. Her power is not what was given, but what she chose not to take. She is shaped by the Force, not as a weapon or as a title, but as a relationship, and one that requires constant reevaluation. Walking away in her story is not abandonment, it is integrity. And that is why Ahsoka Tano endures, not as a Jedi or as a rebel or as a symbol of the past, but as proof that faith can survive without power. And that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do to refuse to let an institution tell you who you are allowed to become. Oh my stars, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Until next time, may the Force be with you.